very pleasant. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. December 21st, 22nd, is it?
22nd.
22nd. We are right smack in the Christmas season. Welcome to another edition of Full Disclosure here on our, I must say, our favorite television station. And they didn't pay me to say that. But we are thankful that we have another opportunity to have conversations with you, the public. Those of you that subscribe to this program since we started from far and wide, those of you in the diaspora, those of you that are the enthusiasts on social media, and those of you who just look at the television, we are so glad that we have another opportunity, that we have been afforded this medium, that we could share what's happening in the executive, what's happening with the various area representatives and so on, what's happening around, what's some of the current affairs in the politics, because the show is designed both to have a governance and also a political slant. So it is a kind of hybrid, as it were. And I am so very happy that we have been afforded this privilege yet another time. I have with me tonight two venerable gentlemen, two gentlemen that I have grown to love, appreciate, and to respect for their work, and even for the friendship that we have been able to nurture along the way. And of course, it's going to be an exciting show. And the theme of the show tonight is toppling the tall trees. Toppling the tall trees. And so I want to introduce to you, to my immediate right, my dear friend, a man from Patience Hill, or PZ as we say, Assistant Secretary Nigel Tate. Good night, sir.
Hey, pleasant good night, pleasant good night. Pleasant good night to those who are viewing, both locally and internationally. My name is Nigel Tate. I'm the area representative for Signal Hill Patience Hill.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And of course, I like that shirt. I see that. I like that shirt. And to my extreme right is another interesting gentleman, dear friend, area representative for Buku, Mount Pleasant, Mr. Sonny Craig. Good night, sir. Sunny days are here.
Oh yes, good night everyone. Happy to be here. Whether you are watching us in Tobago, Trinidad, or the international stage, I'm Sonny Craig, area representative for Buku, Mount Pleasant, with responsibility for a large portion of the village of Canaan.
Yes, man.
Which is not quoted on the name of my district, but I must big up Canaan.
Big up Canaan.
Yeah.
Big up Canaan. Well, gentlemen, like I said, it in my view, it promises to be an interesting conversation. I want to, as I said, the theme tonight is toppling the tall trees, and of course we are speaking figuratively. And I want to jump off the conversation. Well, the first thing I need to say is both of you gentlemen must be congratulated for your efforts in toppling two of the tallest PNM trees in the tallest trees in the PNM political forest in Tobago. I mean, seriously, I needed to say that. I write it down to make sure that I say that tonight. I think that's a major feat. So we want to start off by talking about the toppling of the PNM trees. Let's start there, right? I must start with you, Assistant Secretary Craig. Coming up against Ansel Dennis, who won his seat firstly in 2013 at the age of 26. Young, vibrant, charismatic, and so on. And went on to win 3 consecutive elections thereafter. In 2017, according to the EBC stats, he received the highest voter percentage overall on the PNM front and so on. And always a formidable opponent and so on.
Yeah.
So we come to 2021.
Yeah.
And Sonny Craig, a man who has no real history in in political, well, in representation per se, a man who, I mean, you will tell us about your political journey and so on. Talk about that.
All right. Well, I'm happy to know that I'm a person who has always had Tobago at heart. I love Tobago. I love the people of Tobago. And I become political conscious. I actually became political conscious at maybe the age of 10, 11. Because when I was 11, that was 1976. That was a symbolic year in Tobago politics. That's when Robinson and Murray took the 2 Tobago seats for the first time.
Right.
And I grew to understand the politics from that tender age. I was in Scarborough Sec, first form, and I was understanding what was happening. And I remember during those years, you know, the politics was so, the governance of Tobago was such a noticeable difference in how Tobago was treated compared to Trinidad. I remember going to Trinidad on primary school excursions and riding in these nice buses. And when I came home, them days, when you see you're bright in school, they used to allow you to go Old Farm to watch the girls play netball and to watch athletics and so on.
Yes.
And so we used to catch a bus, we used to pass through Bethel, Patience
Them Leland
with Cordner from Speyside.
Yes, sir.
The bus conductor used to come down the island, lean up on the seat with a bag in front
Yes.
with the coins and give you a change and so on.
Yes.
And I was very conscious. We wrote some nice, I said, but how Tobago getting treated like that? And my parents didn't necessarily, never used to talk politics in the house, but I grew to understand what was happening. So, and I watched the politics in Boko Montpezan. It used to be Boko Lambo at time when Sonny Mackenzie was the guy. And I used to watch the politics and try to understand what made the people in this part of Tobago so inclined to the PNM, because there was a time when what we call the opposition forces, meaning any party that went up against the PNM in Tobago is called an opposition force.
Sure.
I think, and I say we won 11 and we lost that 1 seat, which was Mackenzie, Bukulambo.
Right.
So then it was a hard seat to win. But I always had a love for the people and I wanted to make a difference. And so when it came down to, I watched my age, I watched a lot of variables in my life personally. In 2017, I closed the business I had and I went on to try different things. I'm never afraid to venture into new areas.
Right.
I resigned from TSTT on the verge of a promotion at the time when everybody wanted to work TSTT. I was resigning. So it doesn't matter to me a lot of the things that people value in selecting a career. I don't mind a challenge at all. And so when 2017, I looked at the elections, and when it came down, I said, Sonny, this is your time. I saw Farley a night after, Chief Secretary Farley after one of the meetings. But this is the election that ended up 6-6.
Right.
And I said, I'm thinking about coming in the race. He said, so why ain't come? I say, I ain't get me answers yet. I'm praying about it. When I saw the election came down 6-6, I said, Father, what is this?
Yes.
And we had a conversation. And then I had COVID last year. And I was sick, real sick, and I was down. And during that time, I had a special connection with my father.
Right.
And so my whole journey into the politics was or has a deep spiritual connection. Because the leadership of people is a spiritual matter.
Of course.
And so when I said, Father, if they change it from 12 to 15, that's our personal prayer. I know one of the additional seats is for me to contest.
Right.
Because those who had come to the bar before and were part of the 6-6, if they wanted to go back, I didn't want to be the one to present myself and to displace anybody.
Gotcha.
It just so happened that the person who had contested Boko before was not interested in going up again. I had a conversation with the person, and they said they would not be going back. I said, well, I'll be going back and I would like your support. And that's the long and the short of it.
Right.
But all through the journey, I felt confident that, and I knew that the victory was there for us, because I knew and I still know as a fact that the premise on which we campaigned, there was a nobility about it that gave me a comfort, because I pride myself in my moral ethics.
Right.
And I know politics has Morality of its own, is that what it always said?
I say politicians. But,
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
But I know politics would put a pressure on you as a person to be somebody. If you're not that person all the time, you have a challenge.
Right.
You need to be friendly, basically articulate. You need to be able to get along with all different types of people. Sure. And you need to have a solid foundation, a solid network backing you and so on. I thought to myself, I had all that.
Yeah. But you know, something that you say there that really stood out with me is the confidence that you had. Because the reality is, this is one of the most popular candidates, you know, that the PNM have had in this era.
Right.
You understand? When you look at the numbers over the years, and that in itself, starting out at that can be something very daunting.
Yes.
You understand? And that's one of the reasons why I'm asking the question. And there is application in the conversation, and not just politically and so on.
Okay.
Because there in life, there are people that do not attempt certain things because they are daunted by the reality around them.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
And that confidence, wherever it comes from, whether it's from your connection with your God or from your network, that confidence kind of gives you the impetus, makes you as bold as and brave as a lion to go forth regardless of what you feel.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
When I began to walk the district to get the support of the people, there were some years my team was afraid to enter because you're a bad dog and all kind of thing.
Yes.
Brother Beans, them dogs had to back.
Yes.
Because I was on a mission. I came to claim what I believe Tobago needed. Tobago needed a change.
Yes.
And I wanted to be part of the change.
Right.
Yeah?
Right. Nigel Tate. And the reason why, you know, I had to have you in on this conversation, my good friend Brother Tate, is because you topple a tall tree as well. You understand, Miss Tracy Davidson Celestine was one from the old guard. You understand? Perhaps could have been one of the younger persons in the era of Mr. London and the others and so on.
Yes.
So she's been around the tracks a lot of times. She's been in and around the politics. She knows all the tricks and so on, and has tremendous influence and so on. Won that seat before and all that kind of thing. You understand? Here comes Nigel Tate. You understand? A neophyte, if you want to call it that. I mean, you know, nothing, has no history in politics or anything like that. Perhaps even, as I was told, supported Tracy and another before and all that kind of stuff. But what makes Nigel Tate feel that he could go run against this tall PNM tree and topple the tree? Yeah, tell me.
Well, God sent me here.
Yes.
Right? God sent me here because I wasn't interested in politics. I want to be honest and truthful.
Yeah, well, this full disclosure on the show.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in politics at all because I was a port police officer, corporal.
Yes.
Right? So I know what it is to serve people, helping people. That is me.
Yes.
And then
You used to be intimidated to it? You used to be intimidated?
Yeah, that is me.
Yeah,
that is me. When the crowd were backing up or anybody misbehaving or so, they were calling me for that. That is me.
Yes.
But let it be known that I'm a gentle giant.
Gentle giant.
Yes, I'm a gentle giant.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? So, being involved in sports also helped motivated me to accept this challenge in politics.
Right.
Because I used to run Patience in football since I was a young person, playing football also for Patience Hill. So I was known. And then after that, I come and take over coaching and managing the team. So basically, I know what Patience Hill signally wanted. Right? And again, I say, I will not talk, I will tell the truth. Yes, I used to support the former person who represented the opposition. Right? But before the 6-6, when that person left and the new person came in, there's no way I could have supported them no more.
Right.
Because I am living Patience Hill. I am living Signal Hill. I passes through Orange Hill, Union, Patalambo. I know all the potholes there. I know who I need.
Right.
I know the needy person on them. I know the person who's sick. I know which area do get water. I know all the problems that affect my constituents because I am living there. Right? And then when I was approached by members of the party,
Yes.
right, I told them up front, I said, no, I'm not interested in politics. Politics is not for me. I'm more interested in law, right, fighting crime.
Right.
Being a port police, that's what I'm interested in. And then I keep getting the same conversation over and over and over and over with people all in high positions. And then one day I was home and I keep asking myself, why these people keep calling me phone and asking me to come and represent them? Then both I receive a phone call. A particular person said they want to see me, they want to have a conversation with me. I said, I'll come. Went after the conversation, I said, you see this? God is talking to me.
Right.
God is telling me, Nigel Tate,
Yes.
put your hat in the political ring, you will win.
Right.
Happens so, this is the truth I'm talking here.
Yes.
My mom deceased, God rest his soul. I got a strange dream. Or some people call that vision.
Yes.
Where she saw me as a leader, in the dream, as a leader. And she's pushing me forward and telling me, go and take this challenge. This is yours.
Right.
And then I get that thought, I studied all how I went to my brother, talk to my brother, my brother told me, boy, watch, boy, go up. That yours, you're winning that for sure.
Right.
And then I started to have conversations with all my friends. And then before I even started think about it, I walk around the village first and ask them if I'll get the support. And I didn't know what so much people were so disgruntled with the former regime. I didn't know what so much, including myself.
Right.
And then I said, you know what? I'm taking this challenge. So I started doing my communication with the port to organize my thing, how to resign and what have you. And then chairman, I went and I registered and joined the party. And then my campaign start, man.
Yes, and the rest is history.
Campaign start, and you know, and I must say kudos to my campaign team also.
Yes.
People like with Zimmy brother, her name is Bruce. The girls in the office, they know they are. Carly up my loving wife also, you know. And then to all the persons in Signal Location, still part of Union, Spring Yard, Orange Hill, Patalambo, regardless who you voted for, I still want to say thank you all very much because without you all, I would not have been here for today. Right? And I know this is God blessed me here. Right? And I want to say thank you, Father, and thank you to the persons who actually came out today and voted and put me in office for today.
And you know, both of you, and that is a critical thing. Both of you have similarity in terms of your assurance and confidence before you even step out there. In other words, you weren't looking for the confidence as you go. You had that, however it is, whether it was through people or whatever. You understand? You got it in the form of a dream. You understand? A word, as it were. You understand? And that is so critical in every aspect of life, because we come back to the same point again, that there are many people that are viewing this program tonight. They may have locked down here for the political chit chat and so on, but have some challenge or something in their life, in their space, something they want to accomplish, they would like to accomplish, and perhaps they gone shy, maybe they intimidated by the information and the reality around them and so on. And this is a good testimony, let me use that word. You understand? That the confirmation that you need really, you get that from either your God or people, well, still your God through people. You understand what I'm saying? And you should move forward. You should move forward. You should move forward. Yes, understand? You should move forward. You should move forward. So
if I could write on that,
yes,
because it's a general challenge in Tobago, in the Tobago space, because when I look at people and understand that every human being, and here we go to purpose, every human being, but a lot of people. I went Scarborough Sec in the days when Wendell Moore, Frankie Mohammed, and that was one of the great football teams.
Yes.
And I wanted to play with them, you know. But people will tell you, where you going, Sonny?
Yeah.
You're too fat.
Yeah.
They all kind of thing.
Yeah. They just tell you too fat is
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You know, and I just allow that to get to me, and
Right.
and a lot of people might be listening tonight. You know,
Yes.
you have a dream to do something.
Yes.
It might not be political,
Right.
but then you might. I had that confidence that God put me here for that, and I was right the back of something. Comrade Tate said, let me just stick a pin for my family and my team, led by Natasha Seconds, Miss Natasha Seconds. And I wouldn't want to call any more names on the team because I might leave out somebody. But she was my campaign manager.
Yes.
And I had a fantastic team. So I don't want to ever leave them out of this conversation.
Right.
But the confidence I had, I knew
Yes.
that this was for me.
Yes.
Yeah? And I want to encourage people to do that search.
Yes.
Do that search and find that niche. So we find a lot of our unemployment challenges in Tobago might have been born of that fear. Fear to launch out and to try something and to dare something that you know you're gifted in.
Right.
I see young men walk in the street. I'm confident, 6'5", 6'4". The next Clive, the next Courtney Ambrose. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
They might be the next great goalkeeper.
Right.
But they're just locked into maybe being discouraged, or they just don't have the confidence in themselves to step out.
And so you have a correlation between positive reinforcement and negative as well.
That's right.
Because negative reinforcement it traps a lot of people.
Correct.
And prevent them from accomplishing. You know, the late Dr. Miles Monroe said that one of the richest places on earth is possibly the
graveyard,
cemetery.
the cemetery.
Because there are several people that have died without accomplishing purpose and the dreams and goals and so on.
Songs to write.
Yeah.
Inventions to bring to the table.
I want to add something to where
Assemblyman
Sonny Craig said.
Yes.
In getting confidence in yourself. I could say that I was one who tell myself, by Nigel boy, you sure you're ready to go on them stage and talk on platform and them kind of things, boy?
Yeah.
You had to build more confidence in yourself because you know everybody, since I small, people always attacking me because of the color of my skin. But God give me this. I don't mean to myself that. So I had to talk to me inner self.
They want to bleach?
Nigel boy, you have to be more positive.
Yes.
And forget about the naysayers.
Yes, man. If
you're not aim, you're not aim.
Right.
And if you want me, I'm a fighter.
Yes.
I don't back down from not to accept challenges.
Right.
So for the folks out there who don't have the confidence within themselves, who tell themselves you're too short, later what you up or something, or you're too tall, or because you color your skin, or your race, or whatsoever, build some self-confidence.
Yes, man.
Right?
Yes, man.
Accept the challenge, especially once it's something positive, accept it and go for it. Right? Don't let your the negative part of you take control when you know that you are more positive. Go with the positive side, and that is what I have done.
Right, man.
People say they want to say about me, but it doesn't bother me. I live to outgrow that, and
yes, man.
Even before we come on set, I make sure the light on me. So that's a message for the persons who have the confidence in themselves. Believe in yourself.
Yes, man. So we started talking about the toppling the PNM trees. Let's move on to the portfolio trees.
Very good.
I have lauded the decision of the Chief Secretary, the Honorable Farley Chavez Augustine, for his decision to give the Assistant Secretaries specific responsibilities and as per, you know, in his own mind and how he sees our capacity and so on, and giving those responsibilities and so on. Sonny Craig, over there in health, wellness and social protection. What are your specific areas of responsibility? And tell us about how you execute.
Well, of course, the line secretary in our division is the Honorable Dr. Faith B. Israel.
Yes.
Deputy Chief Secretary. And She is the line secretary, and of course, I'm her assistant with specific responsibilities in the areas of public health. The whole political environment is a school. It's a school where if you never knew the art of negotiation, the art of teamwork, you'll have to learn it on the job.
Yes.
Right? I'm blessed to know that I came out of the private sector and I led my own business, right? Several businesses. So I have no challenges being a team player. I had the blessing when I left high school to work with Deborah Mormigans on the first job. And when I got to TSTT and I moved from being the messenger to a customer service rep, I reported to Miss Wendy Wheeler Phillips. So historically, I work well with female leadership.
Right.
I have a strong mother. I have a strong wife. Right? I only have daughters, and they are strong people. So when I was placed to work with Dr. Faith, there was no challenge. There was no reason to even consider anything sinister or negative. Okay? And she's fiercely intelligent and a great leader.
Indeed.
Right, so between the chief secretary and herself, I was asked to lead in the public health area. Now, public health is wide, and the easiest place to begin is at what I would call at the bottom, which is the garbage collection.
Sanitation engineers.
Sanitation engineers. And you know, when I thought about it, before I came into this position, as a child growing up, I used to admire the guys who pick up garbage. Just as a young man to hang on the back of the truck and ride all over Tobago, I didn't like to see that. But you know, as you learn more, you realize how critical these guys are.
Indeed.
Yeah, because you could say what you want about them. Let them come down your street for 2 weeks.
That's the thing.
For 2 weeks.
Yes.
And as it is now, we are going through major restructuring in the divisions, all divisions, and also in the public health arena, where there are a lot of challenges. I meet with workers from time to time, and they would share where they think that we could make improvements and so on. Garrick Thomas is one of the guys who lead the task force up at Signal Hill, and you know, we have been having conversations on how to make public health a place where people especially starting in-house, where employees could feel a sense of accomplishment, could feel, you know, when I look at the major accomplishments in the world, I see it's built on the backs of persons who are passionate about what they're doing.
Right.
And I believe that the line that Chief Secretary came up with, I don't know if he was advised or he dreamt it, the greatest little island on the planet. I see where public health and the workers who pilot the division, that part of the division, are a critical part of accomplishing that dream. Because when you try to define greatness in Tobago, if somebody lands on the island and the first thing they are greeting with is a filthy space, there is no way that this island could be put in any kind of race for greatest little island. So that's where I see my responsibility as presenting that orderly face of the island. And of course, garbage collection and garbage management and disposal is just one part of it. Even the part of managing what comes into the island, insect vector control, making sure vessels that come to the island are well sanitized, whatever we import, because like the Africanized snail was in Trinidad for years, and it's only this year I'm hearing about it in Tobago, or maybe during the last year or so, it has come in, year or two. It has come into Tobago space. And it came in here because if you're not knowledgeable about how these things function, for example, if you have it in your backyard, they like banana trees. If you walk between them and you think you kill out all, and you jump into your vehicle and you drive on the boat and come to Tobago, it's possible that the eggs are in the sole of your foot.
Right.
So you kill all the parents in Trinidad and you brought the children to Tobago. So there's a lot of education in public health to be able to manage and to keep the society safe. There's a lot more I could say, but let me give...
And I mean, you know, as you say that, as you made the point about the importance of the sanitation engineers, as I call them. I mean, just I called you because the garbage collectors that come through Bethel, specifically Bethel and so on, I receive a few calls, because the truck didn't come through for maybe about 2 weeks, something
Yeah.
like that, and it was because there was some altercation with one of the workers and one of the villagers and that kind of stuff. And it is important. It is important. There are some services it is important. You know, we get to see how critical that service is.
When you miss it. Yeah.
When you miss it,
Yeah.
you understand? You get to see how critical the service is, and we have to always remember, even in our deliberations and the things that we do, you know, that our actions
Yes.
can impact an entire community.
Yes. Because
Yes,
if I could,
I mean, I don't know the details of the incident. But I'm saying that one incident
Yes.
impacted the whole community.
Yes.
Because the drivers just didn't feel safe coming back to the community because of that incident. You
Yeah.
understand?
and you know, a village like Bethel there is a strong family influence, a strong team influence, that, you know, you might feel that if you injure one, you injure all, you know, that kind of thinking. But one of the things that I want to stick quickly in is in the management of public health is where individual citizens have their responsibility. You have a responsibility. Because sometimes you go to throw the garbage and you realize the garbage cage overflow
Yes.
and all down the side and dogs tear it up. If you leave your bag there, what would happen?
Indeed.
Yeah,
Indeed.
so
Indeed.
persons have a responsibility also.
Indeed.
Yes?
King Tit. So, Assistant Secretary, I mean, your division are one of the longest things. That has always had problems trying to say all the words and them in there. But let's talk specifically about your responsibility at the Division of Food Security, etc., etc.
Natural resources, the environment,
Yes.
and sustainable development.
Right.
That's the name of the division. that I'm in.
Right. And your specific responsibility.
Well, I am the assistant secretary in the said division. I'm given the responsibility of fisheries. Right? But before I go on into my division, let me first say that my secretary, Mr. Teacher Charles Panton, she's the line secretary for the division.
Yes.
Excellent person, right?
Indeed.
And we have administrator, Mr. Wendell Bernard. He's also a very knowledgeable person. He is the person in charge of...
Yeah, that's the man with the stingy brim, man.
Yes, that's him.
Yes.
Right, so I want to say thanks to the two of them so far for the guidance. Without them, probably I might have been going a different angle, so to speak. You know?
Yes.
But the Division of Fisheries is a very challenging division. Reason being, fishermen are to deal with, right? And some of the things that I personally have inherited, right, such as dilapidated facilities, right? And these are some of the issues that I personally have to deal with. Then we have controlling the marine park, where we have persons going on staying and overstaying the time. And as my good friend, Assemblyman Sonny Craig said, that they are polluting,
Right.
leaving the garbage
And
there.
engaging in all
kind
kind of activities that are not permissible.
Nice. and
In the marine
follow
park.
illegal activities.
Yes.
So the responsibilities there is very challenging. But I'm working with a good team, members of Fisheries, and we're trying to stabilize some of these unlawful activities, because we have the patrol unit right now being very active at this point in time. And
Right.
we have engaged the service of the Trinidad and Tobago Police and Coast Guard, just in case we have anything that we personally can handle. So we engage the service of them.
Right.
Yeah. That's for the marine park. And then we are trying to get some of these associations that are kind of dormant for years, have them back into action, full action. Right? And then we have some of the facilities right now that are done for works to be done on them. Some upgrading of some of the facilities.
As we talk about facilities, now around the island there are several of these fish facilities that were built in the former dispensation. Mount Irvin, Lambeau, Studley Park, and wherever else. But we saw, or we keep seeing, that the fishermen do their trade outside rather than inside the facilities and so on. What have you been doing in relation to that scenario? What plans do you have for these?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, based on the configuration of these buildings, it is easier for the fishermen to apply the trade on the outside.
Yeah.
Because the public, they have the right to use the facilities, right? But the cannot see them when they're on the inside. And then added to that now, when the fishermen come from sea, and then they go into the building, most of the buildings are fully air conditioned. And the fishermen complain, say that their skin cold and things. So, look at it. So what some of our plans going forward is to reconfigure the buildings that are there right now, so that the fishermen could be easily seen, to make them more visible, and do some adjustments to the actual building on the inside.
Yeah, because the facilities are necessary for sanitation purposes and storage and those kinds of things.
Well, I'll get into that too. You know, so
carry on.
We'll have proper sanitization in the building itself. Jump in there, man.
Carry on. Sorry.
So all that is in the scope of works to be done for the fishermen, so that it will be a more healthy environment for both the fisher folk and the users of the facilities, as well as persons coming to purchase. You know, So some things are in the making to come. Hopefully, this fiscal we can start some work, and right now we start some work has already begun upon palliative year. So. Things are in the making. We are here to support the fishermen in Trinidad and Tobago.
And I mean, one of the reasons why I'm encouraged and impressed too is because I know that for years we've had the fisher folk back and forth, and it don't mean that the agitation has stopped. They have agitation still, you know. But I know that there is evidence of progression, there's evidence of profitability, you know, and the move to optimize these facilities and so on, the work. Well, of course, I will have to talk about the Capital of Paradise and the work that you have done in getting it, you know, your investigative work and so on and all that, and you're representing the division home and abroad, and that kind of thing. We understand. Let's talk about that. Let's talk overall what is happening in the fishing industry in Tobago.
Well, let me give kudos to Mr. Ricardo Alfred. Right, he's the chairman of TATCO also. Right, he is one that worked. Or I work side with him. I say like that because he was more into it than me, because he also have do some training with Tobago Sea School, so he have more knowledge than me in that field. In doing so, we were able to locate the Capital of Paradise that was missing for almost 4 years or so, and we were able to...
Way longer than that, man.
Well, average.
Right, okay.
And we were able to do some work and get it back on stream, and I'm proud to see that the Capital of Paradise is actually working right now, bringing a revenue for it in Tobago by doing the yellowfin tuna, which we export to the US, and the bycatch being sold to our local fishermen. And we also assist in the food program, the children food program, school feeding program in Tobago. So the Capital of Paradise right now is doing an excellent job in terms of bringing revenue for our island of Tobago.
I wanted you to comment. I saw an interview with a representative from ADFA, is it?
ADFA, or Tobago Fisher Folk Association.
And he had some very negative comments to say about the work of the Capital of Paradise and the bycatch and that kind of stuff. And you know, I mean, the space is filled with people of opinions and so on. But as the man with direct responsibility for fisheries and so on, what are your views and your comments as it relates to the work of the Capital Paradise, its impact on, as it relates to the bycatch and so on?
Well, don't care what you do. You will always have naysayers. Right? You'll always have persons who always look at the negative of everything you do. Right? And I could honestly say that the Capital of Paradise is a positive move in the right direction for fisher folks right now in Tobago. Because we are looking for more mother boats, meaning big boats like the Capital of Paradise who go and spend weeks out there and come in with a large catch. Right? And for me, it's more safe than using the small pirogues at this point in time. Right? And since on this topic also, I will want to use this opportunity also to encourage all fishermen or those interested in fishing, register with the Divisional Fisheries. Have your vessel register, have your engines register. There are training coming up through the same Tobago Sea School for safety at sea, I'm encouraging you all to come out and take this training. One life lost at sea is too much at this point in time for us, right? But back to the question we had for we will expect people to be saying anything they want to see. But the thing about it is that we have evidence to show that the capital of paradise is working and is bringing in a revenue. So even some people say what they want to say or what, we have evidence to prove.
Action speaks, man.
Action speaks all that words.
Right.
In this society, you have to learn to take this kind of negative criticism because without that, you wouldn't go.
That's an important point. And I want you to jump into because it seems to me, Sonny, I mean, we came into the corridors of power, all enthusiastic and very, ready to go and all that and so on. And me, I don't think I expected the kind of negative criticisms and conversations that we are faced with. I even think that some of them is staged. In fact, I know some of them are staged, but generally, you understand. And now it's a good point that Mr. Tate raised, that these things should not break you but make you. You understand? You understand? But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, on my way here tonight, I was telling my wife that I was telling her everything we accomplish in life seems to come on an uphill battle. And when you check the journey of Israel through the wilderness, it was a hard journey. And then sooner or later you're going to see the fruits of your labor. But there were people along the way on the journey who were discouraged, who wanted to turn back, and had all kinds of things to say. And of course,
there were some legitimate challenges to prevent them from getting involved.
Landscape challenges, rebellious people. Now, Tobago has always been a bone of contention. That's no secret. Changing hands 33, 34 times. This is the place that Europe used to come to settle the battles. Right? I even read a book further back that when Christopher Columbus came here, and they began to fight with the Indians here. They came to a truce. That the Indians left the island. And when they came back here to hold their feasts and rituals, if they meet another tribe here, if a tribe came across from Trinidad to Tobago, fight start again. Tobago, like it seems to me as though, well, we are the generation that hopefully are going to bring an end to that kind of lifestyle in Tobago. And I want to see Tobagonians really understand the value of this place and understand their role in bringing this place to its fullest potential. But there is just as it was in the days of slavery, when I spoke on the campaign trail about pretty little things. There is always somebody, just as obtains in the African mainland now, the richest continent on the planet with the lowest standard of living on the planet. All because somebody is saying that you people are not supposed to rise, because anytime you rise and appreciate what you have to its maximum, the conversation suggests that Europe, as so-called first world countries, will plummet below the level of third world countries without the resources of Africa. And so I saw a poster recently, or a headline that said we have to make 30-something trillion cubic meters of gas in Tobago water.
I saw it.
Right? And that should widen the conversation. And you must ask yourself, why are there forces at play to prevent Tobago and Tobagonians from realizing their fullest potential?
Do you think that without sounding spooky, that there is a spiritual dimension to this whole this wave of negativism and the constant contention that you talk about?
But I said earlier, the leadership of people is a spiritual matter. And I have seen it, and I'm trying to come to terms with it and to try to ascertain what is the basis for some of the opposition and pushback that we're getting. I know we grew up as reasonable people. The average Tobagonian is a reasonable thinker. He might appear to be a bit passive, but he's a deep and reasonable thinker. And then you see people come into this space and making conversation to suggest that in a year, the problems that we have been going through for the last 21 years, you should have been able to solve those problems by now.
Yeah.
Because it's only 21 years. Yeah. 21 years is a whole generation.
Of course it is.
Somebody was born in the year 2000, is an adult now, and might be a parent.
Yes.
That's a whole generation.
Yes.
And all they know is one type of political thinking and one political vision. So though we have such an astounding majority in the House, and by vote we have 13 seats among us, right? We still have to contend with persons who have grown accustomed to seeing things being done one particular way. Yeah. And you could say we could all say from experience now, being in all different divisions, looking at the realities, looking at the challenges, looking at the basis on which persons are hired or have been hired, and are being put in positions of leadership where they are not even quarter qualified for it. You can understand why the island would be a bit stagnant, and why there would always be resistance to taking us forward.
To change. Let me ask you, Stan, I want to hear your thoughts on this too as well, Mr. Tate. Do you think that that 6-6 season was an object lesson that the masses did not learn? When I said and annex that to the conversation that Mr. Hochoy Charles was engaged in last week when they were talking about the intention of the original principles, whether it be ANR and others, in the House and so on. That there was no real intention for this vintage opposition. It was just
minority and majority.
And all the views would be taken on board and so on. And so, what are your thoughts? Do you think that we missed an opportunity during the 6-6 season? Do you think?
I think there was a message that was sent to the people of Tobago. Right? It shows where we as Tobagonians, we were actually fed up of what was going on. Right? And with the 6-6, it shows that, hey, like something really not going to right with the leaders in Tobago at a point in time. Something was not going right. Even before the 6-6, we were actually seeing things that was taking place that just was not right.
Yeah.
It wasn't right. You understand? And I said before, that helped change my concept on that particular regime before the 6-6.
Right.
And in going forward, God talked to the people of Tobago, including to myself, and said, here,
time for change.
Time for a change.
Yes.
And he also talked to those who make it from 12 to 15.
Yes.
Thank God for that, because they can be included in that. So the days ahead.
Yes, right.
So God knew exactly what he was doing.
Right.
And the persons of Tobago used that opportunity, that 15 seats now, use that opportunity to actually vote out that party and bring in a new regime. Right. So it was the work of God actually talking to the people and getting us here for today.
Right. Because I mean, we have to, while all of us worked very hard in our campaigning and worked very hard and so on, but really we have to contend as well that it is really a people's victory. It is a people's victory.
It was a victory of people to be off to me.
Because a lot more people went to the polls. I mean, you understand, and we know historically that when you have a larger voter turnout, it favors the opposition, the opposition and so on.
But if I may, there is a need now, and I don't know if we have not been saying it loud enough, but there's a need now for us to really, as Tobagonians, understand where we are and where we want to be and what will take us there. You know, some people plan day by day. Some people look at the end of the road and then plan their way back. You know, and people do not understand how critical the structures that govern the island are and how much they have been battered over the last 21 years. It's very easy that when you continue to get the favor of the people in the democratic process, to act as though you are here to stay.
Right. Familiarity
breeds that kind of. So then you have situations where when you listen to the narrative, you see somebody could come and say, well, listen, do this for me, do that for me, and there's a process, there's a protocol, there is a route to that. But then, if I do it, I could, well, look, let me just sign that off and send it through, and you get fixed up.
Yes.
And now we are seeing so many of these little loopholes, this just opening up before us.
Yes.
And the more you have this kind of loose-ended transaction type affair, the more layers of protection you have to put in place to deal with different types of thinkers. So this slows down the whole process of getting things done.
Yes.
If I could conclude by saying, historically, Tobagonians were honest people. I remember as a child, Mommy had a little radio with a little cross handle on top, right? We used to put the radio on low and go to the beach. Doors open, windows open, everything open. We were that kind of people. You didn't have to worry about your stuff because stealing and them things were not. But I don't know how that came so deep into our consciousness, into our communities, that even at the leadership.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we all have to conclude as well that whether you are, because I'm a Bible man, I will go there.
Right.
That as the days get closer to the final eschaton, that even men and seducers wax worse and worse. I mean, that society is deteriorating.
Right.
We are doing the best that we can.
Yes.
You know, we on every front, on the parenting front, on the moral front, on the education front, there are some gaps, and that impacts human behavior.
Correct.
We understand that. But I think I wanted for us to talk, because we're coming down pretty much. The time always seems to fly when you talk about sense of everything. You understand? But we're coming down to the time now as to. I wanted to talk a little bit about what you guys have been doing in your constituencies and so on. I mean, now Christmas, and the pressure is enormous. On every single area representative. I mean, before this whole Christmas thing come on the landscape, there was enormous pressure because the people, the Tobagonian population seems to be distractingly needy.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? And you couldn't believe it. I mean, we outside looking in, we couldn't believe that it was so needy. Is it because of a poor governance structure? Is it that people feel that they were so left out, they felt disenfranchised for so long, that the issue of having a reasonable wait time has gone out of the window, that they expect everything, that they expect to get a job, they expect to get a house, they expect to get a grant, they expect to get a road fixed, they expect to get a light. Everybody wants everything at this point. And if we somehow can't seem to deliver those things, like all hell breaking loose. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, my thoughts are very simple to the people of Tobago, right? Each secretary and assistant secretary, along with the chief secretary, we are working very hard to deliver things for Tobago. Everything has take time, right? We are now here 1 year, right? And so far, what we have delivered to the people of Tobago, for me, is very overwhelming. It's great, it's excellent, it's beyond.
Yes.
Right? And I will say that we are doing good so far. We are seeing roads being patched, we are seeing homes being fixed, we are seeing jobs creating, things happening. Just have some patience with us. Not because I live patience in it. But have some patience with us. Because this current executive, we are working hard on delivering for the people of Tobago. Right? In terms of my electoral district, I know that my lights will be coming very soon.
Yes,
There's some conversation that continuous conversation that keep having.
But I had one yesterday. I had one yesterday. I was critical to
critical conversation yesterday, and I know it's dead making. So let's hold a little strain again, but it's dead coming. Since I was a little boy, in my a toddler, I clamoring for lights in Patience. As an adult playing football for Patience, still clamoring for lights.
Right.
Now I am in a position.
Yes, sir.
I ain't clamoring no more for lights. I'm making noise in the lights in Patience. And I want my lights in Patience.
Yes, sir.
And it will come.
Yes.
We just have a little patience, take a time, it will happen. Right? As we've seen, the roads are being patched piece by piece. But we're getting there. We are getting there. And, somebody did, some of the youths said I'm getting like jobs in between. We just roll out on a nice emergency cleanup program, which is kudos to Secretary
James.
And
he's one of the hardest workers on the planet.
Yes. Kudos to them also, you know. That helped bring a little upliftment to some of the youths and in the area, you know. And then we're looking at hamper distribution, which we are trying to distribute to those that are in need. And I will say that again.
Yes.
We are trying to distribute the hampers to those that are in need. Right? That is the main purpose of these food hampers. And we are living in a society or in a district with almost 5,000 plus persons. And then we are limited to how much hampers? 100 or something? So 100 hampers to distribute to 5,000 people come on.
50 food boxes.
50 food boxes come on. It's very hard to distribute. Right? And then sometimes being an assemblyman, you may have to do some personal
but of course,
in your pocket to help
you have to.
It's very hard.
From the first salary.
And we've been doing that since
day one. Yes, from day one. Because now that you are an assemblyman, you are seeing
of course
where the real challenges are for the real needy people. Not as what was going on before, where once a person keep getting it, and those persons want nothing need.
Right, indeed.
Now we are actually seeing where the persons who are really need that really need this sort of support.
Indeed. You know, Sonny, before you jump in, I wanted to say there is a misconception by persons in the various constituencies. They think that as an area representative, that the provision of things like hampers and toys and so on is a must, right? Is a must. And they think that this is something that the government perhaps finances and so on. And maybe we need to say to our people in the various that it is the responsibility of the area representatives to do these things, these Christmas parties. As you saw, you had the big old wonderland. You understand?
I want to say something.
Yes, go ahead.
Before I lost this thing, I want to say kudos also to my secretary, Natisha Charles Panty, for the initiative of the food box.
Indeed.
Right?
Indeed.
Now, it was something that we have never received before.
Yes, sir.
Now that we are getting it, be thankful for it. Right? It is something that we could give to the needy person.
And it is an initiative. It is an initiative.
It's just as a child and we are trying.
Because I had a conversation with
people, you know?
I don't know what it is. People are so negative in my distribution. You know, you really can't know who needy and who not. It's not like you have a needy tester to test whoever. Because people have a way to put on the needy face.
That's right.
Seriously, right? But you know you have to do that. You go, and I saw this gentleman came and he asked me for. I said, "Sir, are you in need?" He said, "Yes." I took up one of the food boxes and I gave it to him. He walked off. He came back and said he don't want that. He don't want it bags. I said, "Sir, are you in need? Are you in need?" I said, "Please take that." He walk off, he bring back the box and put it on the truck. He wasn't in need.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
He was not in need.
Yeah.
You understand? And that is some of the things and the point that we need to make and let people understand is that most of what you see done by these area representatives finance these things.
Yeah.
You understand? We get support from some businesses and some people, but even that, I mean, in my case, I thought that businesses have been hit so badly from COVID and so on that it really, they have their own challenges. It's difficult for them to give in any significant way. In my district, but I had to take out of my own money $18,000 to do the thing that I did.
Yeah.
And I think that it's important for us to say that to the population so that people would have at least an appreciation for something. You can't touch everybody. You just can't.
Correct.
But as you said, give me the opportunity also to say it too. Right? I took, I won't quote no figure, as you quoted 18,000, thousands of dollars also.
Yes.
From my pocket. Had children Christmas party.
Yes.
Had an open sepulchre for everybody who want to come in, Patient and Silver, the community center. Food and drinks, come and have a good time. And then I joined the Patient and Silver Village Council, which was yesterday. Where I personally distributed some handbags, along with the Village Council. Them also distributed like handbags to the 7 persons that were over 65, that we do hardly just walk out and home. Right? These things were done from pockets.
Yes.
And people have to understand.
Yes.
Right? They have to understand. The challenge of doing that is it is hard.
Yeah.
I cannot serve the 5,000 persons in my electoral district. I cannot.
I mean, personally,
Definitely, I cannot.
But you have to really have a love for
But generally, you have to take care of all.
You have to.
You have to.
I am doing my best to meet each and every one and so I attend to them. But my main focus first is on the needy.
Yes.
And I want you to understand that, let it be known.
Yes.
The needy. I remember a long time as a young person, when your neighbor cooking, you could go buy them some food.
Of course.
Right.
You could have run out of sugar, you could go buy them some sugar.
Yes.
I don't like to use what bring back. But these are things that we can start to have discussions with again to help those that I need.
Indeed.
Yes.
Right?
They go Wonderland in Buku.
Well, here now.
Yes.
My district is a blessing. Eh?
Yes.
I have Canaan on one end, Buku on one end, and Mount Pleasant in the middle. And these different settlements have clear demarcation.
Yes.
You know, and they have slightly different subcultures. So then to be the representative is a challenge. You know, you'll find where the young men in Buku Point might be more interested in sea life.
Right.
Mount Pleasant doesn't have that direct interest.
Right.
They like football. They like, but there are commonalities among all 3 villages.
Yes.
But you know, so Bego Wonderland was an attempt to try a different or a more heightened type of Christmas celebration. And I enjoyed the experience. It was a bit costly too, and of course, just like you, it took a punch out of my pocket also.
And I'm sure every representative.
But you know, when I looked at the children, running all about the place, merry-go-round, bouncy castle. But what I want to try to do next time, and I think not I alone, but other assemblymen, was to try to put a local flavor into our Christmas parties, try to help to restore kite flying and those things that are really indigenous to Tobago. You know, Tobago might be the only place, I can't say with certainty, but one of the few places where kite flying is a major event at Christmas time. In other places, it's a summer event or Easter event. But Tobago, and you know, we have a lot of unique stuff in Tobago.
Indeed.
The goat and crab race, the Tobago Heritage Festival. We have a lot of unique stuff on this island.
Indeed.
So I'm hoping that, you know, as we go forward with our Christmas parties, we could reinvigorate the children with some of these ideas. And that was the kind of thing I had in mind when I said Bago Wonderland, meaning that the wonders of Tobago. So this was our first attempt. We'll try and get it better as the years go by. Right? So the district stand in need, as I think most districts in Tobago, right? Some people say the population size doesn't allow for the sustainability of a lot of businesses, right? Debatable. However, I want to encourage my people throughout the island, regardless of what village you are in, and I'm saying it's a common thread, that you need to just welcome the opportunities as they come. They might not come from the angle you want it to come all the time. But once you get an opportunity to progress, grab at it. Grab at it. You know, some people have preferences. Somebody might want to work in the golf course because they want to be in the hotel industry. They want to work in the golf course. They want to drive between the palms all day. You might not get that. You might get another job at maybe say at a big supermarket. And if you're unemployed, take it. And build from there. Because when I left high school, I was a messenger at first, and I got a chance to be in all the law firms in Trinidad, the big names, serving documents on big people. I welcomed it, and I got into a nice network of people who are my friends up to this day, and who allowed me the blessing of being of sponsorship and all kind of thing when the times came. So I want to encourage, because that's a challenge we're having in the districts. We have a lot of people who might be unemployed, but they have preferences. And those preferences might not always come when you want them. But hunger doesn't wait.
Yeah, that is the truth.
You know, so if you're struggling and your representative helps you get something, jump for it. Jump for it.
I want to just drop one more thing before we go out of here. We talked about toppling the P&M trees. we talk about toppling the portfolio. I want to talk very briefly about toppling the principal tree. What I mean by that, I use the word toppling, not necessarily throwing down, but overcoming. You understand what I'm saying? We made a decision a couple weeks ago, corporately, all of us, you know, and we made a decision to become independent and so on in the house and continue to serve our people and so on. And it's public knowledge all that has happened and so on. I would like to hear your thoughts about how you guys feel about that, feel about the action, and what do you anticipate in 2022?
Let me jump in.
Yes.
Okay.
I want to jump in.
No, you go ahead.
In 1984, I went to work at the law offices of Deborah Mormigans, as I said before. And I heard her say something that she would have preferred to see the communities send somebody to the house. And when I heard Robinson after, I realized that he had the same vision, that communities are going to send a champion to the house. There was no really consideration for parties in the mind of the framers of the Tobago House of Assembly Act. But you know, as Tobagonians, our common enemy, right, would always come with the party, you know? So you have to, it's a structure that allows you to go en masse into battle. Right? Instead of going in as individual soldiers, you go en masse.
Westminster.
Right. But so when I heard Ho Choi Charles speak to this creature that is the THA Act and how different it is, you know, and I'm always happy for that. I remember Robinson when he opened the THA in, I think it was 96 when we had the THA Act come on the floor, and he was saying that this place is designed like a horseshoe. Not two opposing sides, but one table with a majority and a minority. Right? It fits the spirit of the Tobagonian. It fits the sense of family. All we are one family. It fits that. And so persons might feel that they're not getting that protection and coverage they need because we're not a party organized as yet, right? And I want to assure Tobago that, you see these brothers I hanging with here, we are a party, we are a family with the best interests of Tobago at heart. And I don't think people need to be concerned or worried about any factions. There has been a difference of vision on how things should happen, and there has been a separation, right? We were pushed away, and so we had to do something. So I don't think people need to be worried. I'm feeling very comfortable. It has nothing to do with my flow by representation and being the assistant secretary, and I have not seen it affect any of us. And you could talk for yourself, gentlemen.
Sure. Yeah? Talk about, before Tate jumps in, talk about what's your anticipation for 2023.
I see 2023 being the year of more deliveries, more deliverables. Yeah? We know that for a fact that if you want to do things properly, you need to always have the coverage of the right policies and the right precedents going forward. And I think the first year has been a lot of trial and error for us, seeing that none of us have ever served in a real leadership position in the Tobago House of Assembly. All of us who came to the house were newbies. And now I believe that we are in a position to better understand the mechanics of the THA. Instead of just hearing it, you have to live it, practice it. So for me, I'm very comfortable where I am and what I need to do, right? I think that the only challenge I would have is that we need to, maybe as an island also, join the conversation in having Trinidad understand our need for adequate funding on the island. We should not just, because you didn't get what you want, jump from party to party. You now have a situation where you are being led by a mass of Tobagonians with Tobago at heart. You need to give us a chance, not just one term. You need to give us extended time and monitor us, communicate with us, and let us take the island forward. So I'm feeling very good about 2023. And I think is this my closing comment? Is it? You think?
Yeah, I think you have another bite of the cherry. Yeah, so but I take the same question. I mean, the action and your anticipation.
Well, I have sworn to an oath.
Yes.
And my oath is to deliver to the people of Tobago. Yes, my electoral district and the division in which I'm serving, regardless what political party I am affiliated with. Now being an independent, my signature still remains, is to serve the people and them.
Right.
Yes, man.
Right? I'm not here for no war with nobody and saying, I'm not on that. That's not my mantra. I'm here to serve the people.
Yes, man.
And in going forward, my expectations for 2023, very simple, is to continue serving the people and them of Tobago.
Yes,
and also the division in which I'm placed in.
Right.
I'm going to continue to do my best. I'm going to continue to ask for guidance if I'm not sure of certain things. I'm going to continue to pray to God for Him to lead me in the right direction so that I'll make sure that the people in Tobago are well served.
Yes, man.
Right? As Pastor Baines or the Assemblyman Sonny Craig said, that we are newbies. In everything you do, you have to have a start. Right? You don't born with teeth. Right? As time goes on, we grow.
Some born with teeth, you don't born with all
I don't born with none. So as time goes on, we grow.
Yes.
Right? And as whilst growing, I would like to grow with this team that I'm with here now.
Yes.
And if I know one of my brother or my sister is going astray, I am going to pull them aside and say, hey, you're not going too good, so and so be the case. And likewise, if I find I'm not going in a particular way, pull me square and tell me the same thing.
Yeah.
Because there is no I in team. And that's a big message I'm sending there. Whoever hear that.
Yeah.
There is no I in team, it's no one-man thing.
Right.
Yeah.
This is about all of us collectively.
Yes.
Right? So in going forward in 2023, if we stay together, trust me, you will see more deliveries.
Yes.
I mean, that's a salient point. It's a salient point. It's a salient point. I mean, and it is important that I ask the question because there are still some people who are apprehensive about, our decision and so on. And I don't know that any reasonable human being could have made another choice. I don't know. There is so much abuse that any human being, any adult could take as a matter of fact.
But it was visible.
You understand? And notwithstanding as well that to service because of the type of political system that we run, to service that it will require some kind of organization going forward. And the Chief Secretary has already pronounced on that, and that in the coming year, we will be having conversation. In fact, we started our conversations last Tuesday, was it?
Actually, before, but in earnest.
In earnest, I like that one. Yeah. Last Tuesday in the Bethesda area and so on. And it was, and that was a very healthy conversation.
Yes.
A contradiction to what is perceived on social media, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
You understand? And so I think that we're going to continue with these conversations and so on. And at the given time, with the input, of course, of the persons in the various districts and so on, what the new organization is going to look like and that kind of thing. And we will move ahead. But we must make the point that the governance of the island remains strong.
Yes, correct.
Remains unbreakable and unmovable.
Correct.
And the team remains strong.
And
you understand?
We have confidence in the leader.
Of course.
Right?
And we understand that our mandate really is to serve the island, and that requires a certain amount of heart. It requires a certain amount of commitment.
Yeah.
It requires a certain amount of love for people. This work, many of us here have had other types of vocations and so on. You understand? And although we have been painted as we so broke pocket and we poor people and so on, nothing could be further from the truth. It's not like we couldn't do something else.
Correct.
In fact, some of us have left, lucrative places to be here.
That's right.
You understand? There are other vocations that are less stressful, as a matter of fact, than this. But we are saying we stood up to the plate because we wanted to serve people. We have Tobago at heart. We want to be a part of this new Tobago, this greatest little island dream that the Chief Secretary sold to us so well. You understand? And we are bought into the dream. You understand? We want to see Tobago better, because the thing about it is that Tobagonians have excelled in every walk of life.
Yes.
In every walk of life.
That's right.
In every discipline you could think about, there are Tobagonians that you can find that have excelled. So it is not that Tobago does not have the capacity or does not have, resources and that kind of thing. We just need, collectively, we just need to move the island into a place where all Tobagonians benefit from this beautiful place, where all Tobagonians are provided for, child by child, family by family, district by district. One of the things that I am really excited about coming in 2023 is that matter of the district, of funding for the districts. You understand? Where each district, the devolution of power, moving the power from the center, that helps the executive councils to breathe a little more. You understand? Where and that also is a creature, that is a manifestation of that direction that we are heading in for this autonomy business, where we manage our own affairs, where we look at the things in our various communities. We in the communities determine what are those priority issues, and the THA is responsible for funding that and that kind. So I am very excited about that. We are working on the policy to deliver that. We hope to get that done as early as possible in the coming year, and so on. And I believe that we are well on our way. We are not naive. We are not arrogant. You understand? We listen to all the criticisms and so on. Some we think are misplaced, but albeit there are criticism inside of there, we ward off. We are warding off all some unnecessary evil personal attacks that come against us through these fake profiles on social media and so on. There are people that are on a mission to destroy people's lives. You understand? And what I am encouraged by, and it is a biblical quote, that whatsoever a man sows, he reaps. And whosoever diggeth a pit shall fall in. There are some people that they go out of their way to destroy the next man. Just because they don't like your political philosophy, or they don't like your whatever you're doing there. So they don't like nothing good at all. You understand? But we have to keep going. We have to forge ahead, and so on. And these are our final comments now. You understand? But I think that this has been a very useful conversation, and I want to thank you, gentlemen, for your quickly 1 minute. 1 minute.
We are in the smack of the Yuletide season. And I read again recently how the angels sang at the birth of the Christ child. Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill towards men. I just want to wish Tobago. I go more directly to Buku, Mount Pleasant, Canaan.
Yes, man.
But how could I leave out Tobago and say, glory to God in the highest, on earth peace, goodwill to all men who accept the Christ. And I just want to wish you all the best for the season and into 2023. Let's go in there brave. Let's go in there with purpose, with leadership and guidance from Almighty God, and success is ours. All the blessings.
1 minute, Ted.
Yes. I read a little thing today. I want to share it with the diaspora at this point in time, where they say a snail was arrested for speeding overtake a rabbit. You know why? Because it cheat. And we don't intend to cheat.
Right.
We intend to do proper work,
Yes,
the
man.
proper transparency and accountability.
Yeah.
And in doing so, we are going to be successful.
Right.
Right? So let me also take this opportunity to wish persons of Tobago, or I'm saying international one time,
Yeah, international.
a
correct.
Merry Christmas and a bright and prosperous New Year. And I love to use the word God blessings, God blessings, God blessings be with us all.
Yes, man.
Blessings,
Thank you
sir.
so much for this
Loving the
nice
house.
program
Yes.
tonight. Pastor, no, Bishop there. Bishop Assembly Man Babes, you know. The man with all kind of hats.
Yeah.
You know, so thank you for being on.
Yes.
It
It
was
certainly,
beautiful,
it certainly has been a another fantastic program in my view. I want to thank all of you who've joined us on the television, those of you who joined us here on the live. And so thank you for spending some time with us, keeping us company. I want to also thank Assistant Secretary Sonny Craig for being on the program, his thoughts, sharing, and so on. And of course, Assistant Secretary Tate. And I also would want to wish every single one of you the best of this season.
Yes.
You know, I wrote a song called Tell Me What You're Giving Jesus This Year. And the philosophy of this song is, you know, when a birthday time comes around,
Yeah.
you normally give the birthday boy or girl the gift.
The gift.
But it's the only birthday celebration where everybody give themselves gifts.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yep.
You understand? So the question is, what you giving Jesus this year?
Or expect a gift.
Yes.
And it's not their birthday.
Indeed. So consider giving Jesus a gift this year. It could be your life. You understand? Whatever it is. But God bless you. Have a fantastic night. This has been another edition of Full Disclosure. We shall be with you again next week, God's willing. We are hoping, by God's grace, to have the Honorable Chief Secretary with us next week as the final program for the year, to hear his thoughts and his perspective. And, you know, we'll spin a coin and see if we can get the Deputy Chief Secretary on as well. That is
man.
going to be something else.
Yes, man.
You know, no pressure, but that will be something else. All right. So on behalf of all of us here, good night and thank you. God bless you.
Yeah. Blessings.